banger of a game. This is game number 1 between Indonesia and Philippines.
Yes, of course, ladies and gents, if you're a fan of Team Philippines, I feel like they've been dominating. You can give your cheer for them. But of course, if you're from your support here to support Team Indonesia, Camilo Jungle as a gamble against Team Philippines. Hopefully that works.
I just realized that there is a Jollibee emote from Nepomuceno. So that is pretty funny for me.
Hey, I like Jollibee.
Yeah, who doesn't? Shout out to the Filipino fans out there as well. Indonesia in the venue is just making a lot of noise, and the entire venue is just insane, just with fans all around.
Okay, Shiryuki, okay, that concussive blast did proc, but nice. Michael coming out, Benuya was able to just dodge that away, so at the very least, that's a poke that he's able to neutralize.
I think for Camilla, let's talk a little bit about this pick. We haven't seen that in a hot minute. Camilla was sort of a pseudo meta pick and very, I think sort of like niche and used to counter really heavy team fight compositions. For the side of Philippines, though, they typically run a 3-2 or a 4-1 composition. Benuya is definitely going to be on the side lanes. At least for the early game, Philippines going to put Pabico as well as De La Cruz on mid lane duo roaming duty to try to alleviate some pressure off of that gold lane. So Indonesia definitely has to look out for that. You won't see a lot of prowess coming in from Afon's Carmilla until really the later stage of the game.
I feel like Shiryuki is a lot more pressure on him right now, right? I feel like his ultimate, his cloud, is the one that kind of gathers everybody from the side Team Philippines together so that Afon's ultimate will be able to get landed as well. Delvin after that, once that ultimate lands from the side of Afon, Delvin could drop in the missing gush at the same time. AOG for Alexander to keep everybody nice and tight for the damage of Galvin, and don't forget Dingarai on the clock on the Blazing Duet.
In the mid lane, just testing each other's mettle as Team Philippines already in position to try to start this turtle fight. They're disrupting Delvin though, forced to get that retreat on the bottom side.
But the airstrike coming out the side of Pabico as well, picking up first blood against the jungler for the side Team Indonesia. Turtle picked up by Nepomuceno already, and he's still going for more. He's fighting onto the Kacha all the way up top and pinning him against the wall in his own jungle as well. And Fiona also joins in the fun.
What a play from Team Philippines, using De La Cruz just to zone Delvin out. And now Afon knows that, hey, my mage is not in position. I have to go down to the bottom side, at least some consolation in terms of this turtle trade up. And now the kickback onto this Carmilla, though.
De La Cruz just being a nuisance right now. Afon is going to take a long time for the airstrike coming up on Pabico already. And Alexander tags onto him. Afon as well. Still level 4 as Nepomuceno is already hitting level 6.
Well, it's definitely much slower in the jungle compared to the rest of the tested and proven meta junglers out there in the tank position. For Philippines, they understand, like, hey, he wants to play around that team fight. He's going to utilize the ultimate. When we stick and clump together as 5, let's try to spread out a little bit more. Let's try to utilize De La Cruz in the early game to try to disrupt that farm, and he's doing it pretty well. Nepomuceno just having a free reign over all of his jungle camps, getting that level 7, 2 levels ahead of Afon right from the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, the clear from this Camilla is taking super slow, but I think it's all about the utility. That's going to be a stun coming up from Alexander, busting the Pabico where he stands.
Yeah, Delvin also used the flicker to try to secure that kill over Pabico. It's not going to be too much of an issue, at least for the early stage of the game, but when it comes to the mid side, the Predator Airstrike is going to start to hurt, and you want to take care of that right before it actually happens. Delvin still 0-0-1 for now. Team Philippines still slowing down their tempo, going straight for the objectives.
Yep, Nepomuceno is like, what, 2 levels ahead of Afon. This means that, you got more damage in the Turtle Retribution. So, yeah, like Afon right now, do you really try to contest this Lord from Nepomuceno?
I think you have to give it up, unless you want to try put on a blood pack, but De La Cruz is not going to let that happen.
Alexander targeting on the Pabico as well, and now leave his own team high and dry right here. Oh, here comes the ultimate coming out from the side of Afon as well. Better airstrike coming in from the side of Pabico. Is also Alexander tagging onto the taunt coming out of Pabico. Vienna joining in the kill onto it. Nepomuceno down Alexander and Delvin and Shiryuki as well. Benuya is just wrecking heaven. So is Vienna as well.
3 members down, but De La Cruz just keeping Afon busy. Everything started with Nepomuceno just taking down that turtle and setting his sights onto the bottom side. Shauki was in the position Afan was laying down that blood pack to try to stop that approach, but in the midst there's a game, 5-minute mark, taking out the T1 that opens up so much for Philippines.
That Churros, there was an idea right there coming up from Afan. It kind of worked. Until it doesn't.
Just the damage wasn't enough. Delvin was being kept busy by De La Cruz.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with the gourd? So let's take a little replay to see what really went down. De La Cruz was already together with Venuya. He's getting trapped up, but even though they tried to escape, Shauki was right there and then trying to push Venuya away. So Venuya has two jobs: try to disengage, try to reposition the rest of Indonesia, but also to try to disrupt that backline EXP so that Pabico and Viana, if they come in for those team fights, this pesky team fights, they won't get annoyed.
But if you can notice, right, Dingarai is also doing a lot of damage on the Blazing Duet early on, but Viana picking up 2 kills earlier definitely means that, you know, Viana is a more stable position to start to snowball out of control. De La Cruz, wow, he's an agent in the dark against Team Indonesia right now. Immediately, Dingarai sees it, backs off.
Well, this is a great Cho
That's
player that we're watching
farming
right
time
now.
denied.
Yeah, even for Dingarai, he set his sights now. He's transitioning the win condition to away from Afan. Now Afan is being controlled to infinity and beyond. Let's take control of Dingarai right now. He doesn't have that free range.
Afan will be able to catch onto Nepomuceno right there. Alexander charges up his Tom, will not be able to find anything as well. Venuya just tempting, just dancing around with the vengeance. Looking at Team Indonesia for now. Afan tagging onto Venuya. There's also going to be the Mystic Gush coming in for the side De La Cruz. Right there, denying for the side Del Kelvin. And now Delvin is going to get kicked. Afan will be able to find onto the damage with Venuya as well. Those blood pack is starting to hurt.
Great blood pack, great counter engage, but Indonesia, it's not over yet.
The damage coming up from Pabico there, not only just that, De La Cruz, and then from Viceno peels for Pabico. Delvin couldn't even play the game at all.
Indonesia wants to play passive, but in Philippines it's not. They're going on the offensive.
Oh man, the blood pack is not even up. The idea was there for the side of this Camilla jungle, but it's not working, Churros.
No time to breathe for Indonesia. What just happened there was Venuya just drawing all the ultimates onto himself, giving Nepomuceno time to take down that turtle and then joining the team fights. Afan holding onto the black pack for a little bit too long, but once he found that, he's got 3 men all stunned up. That was perfect, but not enough damage actually coming through because every single one of the resources already utilized onto Venuya.
Yeah, and Venuya just literally bought a lot of this utility, just wasted all the utilities onto him, and at the very least, right, De La Cruz also jumping and bobbing and weaving at the same time, allowing Pabico to just land down the damage from afar. Viana is just there to just kind of dish out the damage. I'm not looking at Afan because, like, heck, you don't really have a very strong jungler right now. You lost, like, what, 2 mid lane turrets in like what, the 8-minute mark, Churros? That's a little bit too early.
Yeah, you're focusing you're putting all your eggs into one basket. In this case, you're putting all of your skills into one Venuya. And it's so hard to take this Arlo down. That's the beauty of how well and how comfortable Venuya is with this Arlot. But matter of fact, right now in this current state, Indonesia has to be turbling up. But in this sense, Philippines not giving Indonesia that time to breathe. Taking a little itemizations, Viana is just 1 item away, and as I say it, that's the full build for this carry. And we see that 3-2 actually coming into fruition.
I mean, Charles, just take a look at Nepomuceno and also Afan. That 1 item diff, I would say 1.5 item diff is just so ahead. Like, look, that's like what? How many levels ahead already? And De La Cruz fighting on the Fun right here. Would not be able to do anything because the Heaven's Been pins locks him down. Delving the Mystic Gush just hits air.
What a find from De La Cruz. That was a perfect pickup. Lord just spawned up. No jungle for Indonesia. It's back to the drawing board. It's back to the base defense. Dingarai trying his best.
Churros.
Might be able to be disrupted though.
Churros, that's a 4-level difference between the junglers.
There's no time to farm. There's no space to farm for Afan. It's a little bit too slow for this meta.
And now with the blade armor already building for the side of Nepomuceno, already Dingarai may find himself in the spot of trouble. He's not having a very good game, going down twice already. Whereas, you know, Viana, even to a certain extent, heck, even the Roma on the from Team Philippines has a better KDA than Team Indonesia's Dingarai.
I think Indonesia making a beeline towards the bottom side. Venuya is all alone.
And here we go. There's going to be the Kacha over the 8OG. Venuya trying to make a play right here to find a snatch. He will be able to try and get alive, but not for long because Dingarai jumps all the way with the Blazing Duet. And now it is time for Team Indonesia to strike.
Top side though, Viana taking that top side T3 that's cracked
okay.
wide open. One more hit. The Philippines, they have done the macro game. Indonesia, yes, they threw 5 members onto that bottom side, but it opened up so much on that top.
Yep, two members from the side Team Philippines going down for the count. But don't forget, you are very ahead earlier just now, so I don't think that's a very good item. You can see Nepomuceno is just absorbing so much damage. He actually pins for the fun of it, just asking, hey, Vienna, will you want to play? But unfortunately, Delvin finds the laser on his Panda.
What a find. Nepomuceno was all alone up there. He was taking 5 members damage all to himself. Viana just holding on. He doesn't want to show himself. If he did, Indonesia would be able to capitalize and take that carry out. Knowing that De La Cruz wasn't around the vicinity, Philippines cannot afford to play that offensive. Up from a 9K gold lead from start down to 6K, Indonesia is crawling their way back.
Don't forget, 5 level difference between the junglers. Man, that retro button definitely looked really juicy for the side of Nepomuceno as we go back into this instant replay.
Vinuya is just mechanical prowess, and Papico came in the nick of time, but the BMI was able to bring him out. That was just 5 members, but utilizing every single one of their resources, every single one of the ultimates, just to get 2 kills off the board. That's how desperate Indonesia is to stay afloat.
But maybe that 2 kills is kind of worth it, right? Especially when there was almost like a 9K gold lead in the favor of Team Philippines earlier just now. Team Indonesia, I think like why bother keeping your ultimates? Just pour it onto one person. At the very least, hopefully, you know, you get that springboard to make sure the Dingerai gets the necessary items. Delvin also starts to do a lot of damage in terms of the Mystic Gush as well.
That's the beauty of Philippines. They've seen that Indonesia is ramping up on that tempo. They're trying to slow things down, and they're doing it very, very actively in this front. Waiting on that 30 seconds for the next Lord to come up. Indonesia getting drawn out into the jungles, which is where Philippines really likes to play this. In any case, it's still a 4-1 composition, but Indonesia doesn't know where Nepomuceno is.
Yep. It's not only just the fact that they don't know where Nepomuceno is, it's also De La Cruz, right? Like, the fact that he's providing so much vision over to the side of Team Philippines. Team Indonesia cannot also step into any random bushes as well. If not, you know, De La Cruz will be there to try to land a kick right into allowing Viana to pick off, Pabico to pick off as well. And, you know, Team Indonesia definitely feeling a little bit PTSD from that.
There's the mind games that De La Cruz is playing. They're forcing in the engage onto the Lord. It will blitz it down. Indonesia has no chance to respond to that. On that top side though, De La Cruz trying to find an angle, a flank, or anything at all. But close but no cigar. Philippines will just take the objective and get out of the way. Yeah,
right now it's just, you know, how Team Philippines end this game, right? Team Indonesia earlier just now, they know they're not in no condition to fight. 7K gold lead at this juncture. Not only just the fact that 7K gold lead, that 7K gold lead goes into the likes of the carry, the likes of this Farsa. Technically speaking, Vinuya on this Arlott also does quite a punch as well. You saw how, you know, he's been slippery. Team Indonesia needs to commit a lot of resources just for that.
Cho, tanky enough. I think in this late game mark, De La Cruz shouldn't make any mistakes at all. But taking a look over the side of Indonesia, a very defensive build coming out from the entirety of Team Indonesia, especially for the Camilla. You have that defensive capability.
Damage. Vinuya, absorbing quite a lot of him. Even the Mystic Gush as well. Nepomuceno using heavy speed. But don't forget, there's also a Lord marching all the way top. Team Indonesia, you have to go back and defend.
Ooh.
Don't forget about the Lord that's marching in. And this is when Team Philippines is more than happy to handshake these fights.
What a mind games. They're pulling Indonesia away. The Lord has free reign over this throne.
And now it's just Team Philippines just going to find a win right here. They do have a bit of minutes, and it's just wave after wave of minutes, just marching in Team Indonesia as